Hey guys, Greg here at the Vinyl Rundown. This is going to be a contest for Dillon at Noble Records, and I haven't made a video in like 3 weeks. Sorry, been busy. Happy New Year. So Dillon at Noble Records just hit 7,500 subscribers, which is humongous, and Dillon is one of the best channels, one of the top 5 channels in the vinyl community on YouTube. And before I get into the contest, I'm just going to say some nice things about Dillon. He's living the dream, which has always been my dream, of opening an independent record store. You know, I'll retire to a small town and open up that record store. Well, it's not for retirees. It's hard work. You can see by all the work Dillon puts into his store. It is hard work. He's driving all over the state buying collections. And he did a great video a few months ago about how to buy collections, which one of my favorite videos. I didn't realize he was getting ready to open his own store. He also does a great job marketing. Anybody with any small business should be taking advantage of social media for marketing. It's free. And what are you waiting for? You got a YouTube channel, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got Twitter. Those are all free things that, if you know what you're doing, can be great for your business. And Dillon does it better than anybody else. There's a handful of good record store channels here on YouTube, but Dillon puts such a variety of stuff into his videos. He talks about individual records, he talks about record buys, he interviews people, he has musicians, he has his mom dancing in the store, t-shirts, merchandising, great store design. So anybody with a small business, take a look at how Dillon has used social media to the advantage of his business. I do got to get my glasses to read the questions. There are how many questions? 7 questions. It's 7,000 subscribers, I guess, not 7,500. Okay. Best finds of all time. One of my best finds of all time. Bill Evans' most classic, one of his most classic records, Bill Evans' Trio Waltz for Debbie, recorded live at the Village Vanguard. This is recorded in 1961. This is the first U.S. stereo release. In good shape, could be $200. The mono is worth more. Found this at a local thrift shop. I think I paid $2 for it. It's very listenable. There is a scratch that lowers the value quite a bit. But for the most part, highly listenable. One of the most famous and desirable live jazz albums of all time. The great Paul Motian on drums, Scott Lavaro, bass player, who died tragically about 2 weeks after this was recorded, sent Bill into deep depression, etc. Anyway, Waltz for Debbie. This is also a record I'll never sell. Is that one of his questions? This is like a best all-time find, but then I want to give you best finds from the recent year. I featured this in another video recently. Mosaic Records, Blue Note re-releases. I've got something like 15 or 16 discs that I got at the Goodwill on Mosaic. $2 each. We got Grant Green, we got Ike Quebec, we got Hank Mobley, we got Sonny Clark. I did a whole video on this. But this was found at the Goodwill on December 31st, so just made it in on the last day of the year to be a 2019 release. Okay, best song ever written? How can anybody answer that? Bohemian Rhapsody, right? That's kind of the obvious answer. I'm going to give you a song that's pretty rare that a lot of you don't know. Antonio Carlos Jobim, who wrote all these great Brazilian tunes, Girl from Ipanema, and all the stuff with Stan Getz. Later in his career, he wrote a song, I'm going to pronounce it in Portuguese, Aguas de Março. That translates into English as the Waters of March. That song he wrote probably in the early 70s. So not that well known in America, but some Brazilian critics and writers voted that as the best Brazilian song ever written. Waters of March, that's really referring to the rainstorms they have in Brazil in the spring. It's an unusual song. I'm going to explain the song to you rather than play it for you. And I don't have it on vinyl. Tavis just got a vinyl copy. Vinyl Talk with Tavis. He went and bought a Brazilian copy of Antonio Carlos Jobim and a female singer doing a famous duet of this song. And it's the stream of consciousness, like all this stuff is coming down the river because of the water and the flooding, and you're kind of looking at all this stuff float by, you know, a twig and a piece of trash, and it's your life rushing by. It's this whole stream of consciousness, circle of life. Very unusual song, very unusual melody. Waters of March. I guess I have to link to a version or two of it. There's a young lady from Brazil who has a YouTube channel who did a nice version of that. Waters of March. Keep your eye out for that. Best song. One of the best songs ever written. What about Tribute by Tenacious D? Is that the best song ever written? Some of you guys know the answer. Come on, iPhone. I'm trying to read the next question. Oh shoot, I just lost the video. Give me a second here, guys. I know how to use this device. Oh my goodness. I've really screwed this up. What's the next question? Bear with me. How do you keep track of your record collection? Discogs. Big fan of Discogs. A few years ago, my wife typed up my entire collection and put it in a 3-ring binder on paper, and it's like so much work. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful, thoughtful gift. But how do you keep track when you're buying new records all the time? And are you going to carry that to the store with you all the time? So Discogs, get Discogs on your phone or on the computer. I got 3,500 records. Categorized in Discogs, it is a project. You got to devote like a month of time to stick all those records in Discogs. But then you get the value of each one, and you can use that for your insurance purposes. And of course, you can go take your phone with you when you're shopping and say, oh, do I have this record? Which version do I have? How much is it worth? Is this record worth anything? Discogs, great tool. I highly suggest everybody get involved in Discogs. What is the one record you'd never sell? Well, I already showed you Bill Evans. Can I use the same record for 2 questions? Am I allowed to do that? This is such a rarity. And I've seen the mono version go for like $1,500. What else? What else wouldn't I sell? I don't know. I don't sell any of my records. Am I ever going to sell them? I don't know. The one record I'd never sell. I can't come up with a better one than the Bill Evans. Also the Herbie Hancock Elysian Isles, which I got at the Goodwill. Or the Salvation Army for $1. I can't find it, but I was going to show that one also. Favorite music documentary. I did a whole review on this documentary recently. I went to the opening. It's called Blue Note Records Beyond the Notes. And I was at a special showing in Los Angeles, probably in July, where I met Herbie Hancock, so my buddy Herbie Hancock. Near immaculate music documentary, according to The Guardian. I got a lot of music documentaries that I've reviewed on this channel. The one about Jaco Pastorius, which I don't even know the name of. Jaco? The Life of Jaco? I don't know. Was on Netflix. Go see that one. If you haven't seen that one already. Echoes in the Canyon just came out. I saw in the theater with Tom Petty and Jacob Dillon and the Laurel Canyon Sound. And lots of great documentaries. The one about Tower Records is also a must-see for you record fans, called All Things Must Pass, about the rise and fall of Tower Records. That's a few documentaries to keep you busy. Favorite record you received as a gift? Well, what do we got here? My son gave me this for my birthday a couple months ago. I still haven't opened it. The thought of him giving this to me, though, is wonderful. That's Gary Clark Jr., This Land, Album of the Year. A rare artist, virtuoso, genre-bending artist who transcends sound, style, race, gender, and age. That's a lot of transcendence, if he can transcend all those things. I saw Gary Clark live opening for Eric Clapton, probably last year at the LA Forum. I like Gary Clark better, at least that performance. So, one of my favorites that I received as a gift recently. Still haven't opened it. What am I waiting for? I don't have time to list all these records. Also got this for Christmas. Bill Frisell and Thomas Morgan Epistrophe live at the Village Vanguard. Hey, Village Vanguard. Bill Evans, Village Vanguard. I love the sound of the Village Vanguard. I talked about this record already in the pile of Christmas gifts. Bill Frisell, great guitar player. I did a video just on Bill Frisell recently. And this young kid, he looks like Thomas Morgan on bass. And this is on ECM records. Those are pricey and hard to find. ECM stuff. What's your listening ritual? Do I have a ritual? Well, I'm a little bit of an audiophile when it comes to serious listening. I got to get in the sweet spot. Make sure your speakers are positioned properly. Position yourself in the middle of the triangle, in the sweet spot, ear level. So when I'm doing serious listening, I really want to close the door. Sometimes I move the speakers to make that sweet spot the perfect triangle. And in terms of a ritual, what I do personally, you know, am I drinking a certain scotch or whiskey? Maybe, maybe not. Am I closing the door so the rest of the family can't hear my noise? Cleaning the record carefully, clean the needle, clean the record. How do I pick out what record I'm going to listen to? There's no ritual there. It's all random chance, or just whatever mood I'm in. And the ritual I need to get into is to listen to more records, because the amount of records that have come into this house in the last year, I'm not spending enough time listening to them. Get on that, Greg. What are you waiting for? You're spending more time watching videos than you are spending actually listening to music. That's the negative about being on the vinyl community. So hats off again to Dillon at Noble Records. Wish you much success. Congratulations on the huge subscriber base of 7,000. Congratulations on putting together a great store that looks like you're doing everything right in terms of the way you're marketing it and merchandising it. It's a nice looking store, and the way you're constantly promoting what you've got in the store, and creating a lot of desire to go out there. If I'm ever on the East Coast, I'm going to try to stop by, but I don't get to the East Coast too often. Okay guys, congratulations to Dillon. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe. Please hit notifications if you want to see more of these videos. Why not? And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.